So in this video, I'm basically going to be explaining you guys the 5 things I wish I knew before starting my SMMA. And I really wanted to share this with you guys because if I would have known this before I started, it would have helped me a lot. So the first thing I really want to get into is there's no secrets in SMMA, right? Right now you might think there's some secret outreach script, some secret system that no one's talking about that you can only find in some secret course. That is absolutely bullshit, right? Everything from SMMA and service delivery outreach, everything is on YouTube, right? So do not think that there's some secret, right? And that's why people are succeeding and you're not. Okay, it's all about because it's you're being lazy or you're not doing enough volume. That's how it is. And getting into volume, I mean by that is if someone sends 50 DMs a day, right, with a really, really good outreach script, right, and someone who sends 1,000 with a shit outreach script, he's still gonna book more appointments than you, right? And that's what people need to get into their head. At the start, it's really all about volume, right? Do not focus on quality. At the start, it's quantity over quality, and then you can kind of perfect it and see what works and what doesn't. But for that, you have to test out. And to test out, you need to have high volumes of, outreach that you can actually do and see what works and what does not. Now, also going into this first thing, I wanted to talk about the niches, right? Many people think that you have to go into an untapped niche to succeed in SMMA. That means going into something like window cleaning, remodeling, something that no one is doing. And I completely understand you, right? Because when I started, I was exactly in your same shoes. I was like, okay, I need to find a niche that no one's doing, something that is fully untapped, like tattoo removal or any other bullshit that people tell you to, find an untapped niche and you have to do it or else you're going to be crushed by the competition. But what you need to realize is every single person who gets into SMMA is thinking the same thing as you, going into an untapped niche. By that I mean is that if you go into an untapped niche, every single new SMMA owner is going to reach out to these business owners and they're going to have a very bad impression of you. And once I realized this, I kind of thought about it like this, right? Why are people still in proven niches? It's because they're still making money. So if someone else is still making money in that niche, he's not better than me. He just has a better offer. So me and my business partner, we figured out a way to build a really good irresistible offer that helped us actually go into the most proven niche, which was med spas, and we still came out on top. With 0 testimonials, no paid ads, we came out on top. So I'm telling you this right now. Do not be scared of competition, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you shouldn't be either way, right? I was never scared of competition. I never thought anyone is better than me. So once you realize that, you can actually go into any single niche you want, right? Those niches are still proven. People are still making money. If people are still making money, then why are you not making money? And why do you think they're not switching to an untapped niche? It's because they know, right? They don't work. You have to go into something that works. And by that I mean, go into a niche that is proven and do not be scared. That's my main advice. Do not be scared of competition and then you can actually come out on top. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is why having a mentor is extremely crucial. Now, it's not because of the reasons you may think. It's not because he's going to provide me with a guarantee of getting us 10 clients or the best outreach script or some crazy systems that he's using and no one knows about. It's mainly because if you invest in yourself, you're going to take it more serious. By that I mean at the start I did not have a mentor. I didn't invest into anything into my business, SMMA or whatever. And thanks to that, I didn't take it serious, right? By that I mean is that every single day I was lacking. I didn't do the outreach I wanted to do. I didn't send out the minimum KPIs I wanted to do. And after having a mentor and after actually investing $2,000 into a mentorship, I realized, okay, I invested all this hard-earned money. Now I actually have to take it serious, right? And many people do not realize this, but if you want to take something serious, you have to invest money into it, right? And then your brain is tricked into actually making it work. Plus, your mentor is also going to hold you accountable so you actually get the work done. That is why I think it's extremely important. Not only that, you're going to have access to a community with like-minded individuals who all invested $2,000. That means they're all invested and all put in money, so they're all actually serious about this, right? If you build a community where no one invested any money in it, the people in there are not going to be all serious. But if you have a community where everyone invested $2,000, it's actually going to be a serious community. And that is where I was every day practicing sales with, for example, one of my friends, right? Because I was bad at sales. So we basically did like practice sales calls in a way where I was, for example, the closer, and he was the client who I wanted to close, and he was throwing objections, like easy objections, harder objections, and then we switched roles, and this allowed us to actually improve at sales, and improve at getting those objections and already knowing the answer to it. Same with cold calling. I used to cold call with 3, 4, 5 friends, and that really helped because we were all muted on the call. And at the end of like 3, 4 hours, we used to check, okay, how many appointments did we book? Who did how many cold calls? And we all kept each other accountable. And every time someone didn't do a cold call, they could not join tomorrow. So that is why I mean, having this is extremely important. So having a mentor, in my opinion, is hands down a crucial step to success. Now, the third thing I want to get into is why surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded is also really important. Now, tying into my second point, this is also a very important step. When I started, I was in school. So I used to go to parties every weekend. I used to drink. I used to smoke. And, I knew that if I wanted to be successful in SMMA, I had to drop all those. So what I did is I dropped all my friends. I isolated myself. I was in my room every single day on Discord with like-minded people. And all I was talking about is money, SMMA, and my future. Nothing else, right? So that's the only 3 things I was talking about. Even my family got triggered because all I used to talk about was money and how I'm going to travel, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to retire them, all of that. After a while, they got annoyed, of course. But that's what I mean. You have to really only have your brain focus on what you want to have in life. You can't do it 50-50. I completely gave up school. I almost got kicked out. I almost failed all my classes. I used to work on my agency in school. You have to go all in. You can't just do this on the side. And that is an important step that not many people talk about. You really have to go all in. And if you do, you will succeed. Now, the fourth thing I wanted to get into is stop wasting time on things that do not matter. By that I mean is, to this day, I get DMs on Discord saying, hey, how did you learn service delivery? And I actually asked the guy, do you have a first client? And he said no. And at that point, I realized that every single person here is already thinking about, oh, how do I learn service delivery? How do I do this? How do I actually provide for my clients? If you do not even have a fucking client, I'm sorry to say this, why would you learn service delivery? It makes absolutely no sense to me that why would you learn something you do not have? When I started, I did not care, to be honest, how I'm going to deliver for my clients. All I cared about is how do I get my first client. And the reason is this, because once I actually got my first client, I was forced to learn service delivery. By that I mean, I did not have another option, right? Now I have a client, so now my brain was forced to actually learn service delivery. And somehow I learned it in a week, right? And I understood it completely because I was forced and I had a time limit in my head until I actually started, running the ads for her. So I had to be quick. And that is why speed is extremely important as well. So if you start learning it now and you plan everything out, it's just not gonna work, right? That's what I mean. Just please focus on the first step, which is getting a first client. Now, the final thing that is the most crucial thing that I will tell you guys right now, and please listen to this very carefully. Get started instead of planning. Now, you might think, okay, what do I mean by this? Why is this so important? It's because many people who I was in school with a few months ago messaged me they wanted to start SMMA as well. And I told them, oh, okay, perfect. That's really good. I'm actually going to help you. If you're actually serious about this. They all said, oh yeah, I'm really serious about this. Now, a few weeks later, I checked up on them. How are you doing with your SMMA? You know what they said? They're still watching videos. They're still learning about it. All this bullshit. It does not take more than a week to just learn the basics. And you don't need anything more. Get started. That's all I'm going to say. Let's say there's a football player, right? Every day, one football player is on the field practicing 6 hours a day, scoring goals, doing one-on-one drills, all of this. He's on the field every single day, right? And then he comes home, sleeps, whatever. Now, let's take another example. Someone is at home, right, watching football the whole day, analyzing it, doing all of this. Who is going to perform better on the field, on the match day? Who? The one who is at home analyzing and learning and all of this, or the one who is actually doing the practice and work? Of course, the one on the field. So do not actually think that if by you watching SMMA videos and planning everything out months ahead, you're going to realize if you do that, if you are at home studying 3 months about SMMA and learning the ins and outs, you're going to realize once you start, you're going to think you have the perfect plan. You're going to fall on your face and realize you made a mistake. And then you're going to give up because you spent all this time learning without even getting started. So all I have to say to this is get started. Yes, you're going to fail. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. But that's how you're going to actually realize what having good offer is. Why do people respond? And you're going to realize how hard is it actually to send DMs and cold call. And you're going to see that people are really, really not interested in your service. And it's going to actually hit you in the face. So trust me on this. Just get started and stop planning things out. Other than that, I think this was it for this video. These are the 5 things I wish I knew before starting my SMMA. And I really hope it helped you guys. If you guys liked it, please drop a like below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.